station of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Ohio.
After a 4-game sweep of the Cardinals, the Reds have taken their act out west to famed Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. It's the first of 3 of a weekend set. Reds and Dodgers straight ahead on Fox Sports Ohio. And hi again, everyone. Look who we wrangled back into the TV. Alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley and Jeff Pecoro, I'm Jim Day. You know, it was very fun to watch the Reds against the Cardinals at Great American Ballpark. In that 4-game sweep, there was a little bit of everything.
Well, I think when you watch that series, it brings you back to years ago being on the other side of that fence when the Cardinals took advantage of the Reds seemingly every time or every series that we played. But in that series, of course, the Scooter Gennett 4-home run ball game, but more importantly to me than anything else, is they came out and swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series on their own turf.
And outscored a big-time 28-9, and the offense continues to shine for Cincinnati. They'll give the ball to left-hander Amir Garrett tonight, and Cowboy, he hopes to return to the form that we saw in the early part of the season. It's been rough of late.
Yeah, you and I talked about this earlier. I think looking at this stadium here, and it's a big stadium, big ballpark, you're pitching in LA, it's a big venue. I think for Amir Garrett, maybe this is where the tide is turned. Maybe the adrenaline kicks in. It takes him to a different place than where he's been here in his last 3 starts, where he's given up 9 home runs, as you see, in last 11 2/3 innings. Amir Garrett has it within that big 6'6" body. We saw it earlier this season. Now it's time to turn the page, get comfortable again, get that adrenaline going, and get back out there and do your thing.
It's lefty versus lefty tonight. Rich Hill goes to the mound for the Dodgers.
I think watching Rich Hill, you look at the numbers, 26 innings. He's only had 6 starts. He's not going to pitch many innings. He's going to throw a lot of pitches. I think it's going to be really predicated on the Reds to see how well they can handle the strike zone, especially early in this ball game. If they're able to handle, keep the bats off the fastballs out of the strike zone, get a good look at that curveball early, fight the pitch count up, they could be in the Dodger bullpen in the 4th.
The Dodger offense has been down of late, but this young guy is impressed. Cody Bellinger, the rookie.
Well, anytime that you take a spot of a premier all-star in Adrian Gonzalez, you've got to be doing something right. And he's swinging the bat awfully well, not only against right-handed pitching, but even better so against left-handed pitching. 12 home runs, 31 RBIs. And that leads the Dodgers. That ought to tell you a little something about their offense.
Reds kicking off a 6-game West Coast road trip. And coming up, we're going to talk about the dividends that the Reds got from the Dodgers in a big trade, including that guy, Scott Schebler. Jeff Pecoro has that story when we come back on Fox Sports Ohio.
Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by Chevy. Check out our award-winning lineup only at your tri-state Chevy dealers. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good. It's Skyline time. Well, a beautiful night for baseball here in Chavez Ravine, about 70, 72 degrees. And it's the return for Scott Schebler. Remember, he was a one-time Dodger. He played the last month of the season in 2015. And what a trade it's been for the Reds since he's come back for the Reds. All he's done is hit 17 home runs. That's tied with Ryan Zimmerman for the most in the National League. One behind Aaron Judge of the Yankees for the Major League League. And he missed 3 games with a shoulder strain, but he's 3 for 6 in his last 2 games with a home run in his last 2 starts. And now it's time for our IGS bringing the energy. And how about the Reds hitters 5 through 8? Look at the numbers. 272 average at second in the National League. Home runs at 41 is first. Extra base hits is first. Also their OPS is first. 125 RBI is fourth. And runs 119 is tied for fourth. So the middle of the Reds lineup is certainly getting it done. And when Billy and Jack Cozart on top get on base, man, this could be a long and tough offense. Well, the Reds hope to reverse a trend here. They've lost their last 6 games here, but this is a much different Reds team. Their confidence is sky high after taking 4 from the Cardinals. Jim and the Cowboy are coming up.
You get a bad weather day or night at Dodger Stadium. Mother Nature providing another good one here tonight as Billy Hamilton is in the box for Cincinnati. And here's your lineup presented by Menards. Hamilton will lead it off. Cozart in the 2-hole. Votto, Suarez, and Schebler 3, 4, and 5. Is Adam Duvall not in the starting lineup tonight? He is under the weather. With that in mind, Patrick Kivlahan is in left field. Jose Peraza at second base batting 7th. Tucker Barnhart hanging the signs for Amir Garrett. On the mound, presented by Mazda, left-hander Rich Hill, 37 years of age, Boston born, resides in Boston in his 13th major league season, and he is set to go. First pitch on the way is fouled back, and this one is underway from Dodger Stadium. I'm Jim Day alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. Reds riding a 4-game winning streak coming into tonight after sweeping the Cardinals at home. Fouled back again. 67 degrees your game time temperature. Another sunny afternoon here in Southern California. So with temperatures below 70, a little chill in the air. See how the ball flies, if at all, tonight. 2 pitch to Hamilton. Off speed pitch, fouled off again. So 3 pitches from Hill, and 3 of them fouled off. It's been up and down for Rich Hill. He's been the often injured starter. Acquired midseason last year from the A's, and then the Dodgers turned around and signed him to a 3-year deal as a free agent. First start against the Reds since 2007. Comes in with a 2-2 record overall as Hamilton swings and misses for the first out of the game. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Dodgers. Around the outfield is Gutierrez, Taylor, and Hernandez. Justin Turner just off the disabled list this afternoon. Corey Seager at shortstop. Forsythe at second base. Ballinger at first base. Rich Hill and Barnes catching tonight. Zach Cozart now. 347 average. That is 3rd best in the National League.
A lot of different names in that Dodger lineup that we just saw.
Indeed. On the bench tonight, Chase Utley, Adrian Gonzalez, Yasiel Puig, and former Red Yasmani Grandal, all on Dave Roberts' bench.
We showed you the defensive side of that graphic. The Dodgers have not been very good in the defensive department. They haven't been very good in the offensive department either. But they do walk a lot, and they pitch gangbusters.
This Dodger team continues to pitch. When you come in here, you know you were going to get some starting pitching. Dave Roberts' club, the reigning manager of the year in the National League. Swing and a miss by Cozart, so Rich Hill back-to-back punch-outs to begin this one. Talk about that Dodger pitching. You can't get much better than this. First in team ERA, starting ERA, and second only to the Indians in bullpen ERA.
Yeah, the Reds bullpen has done awfully well. I could put them up against the Dodgers bullpen. Starting wise, that's a different category.
A little different nugget right there. Joey Votto takes the first pitch ball. Averaging 300 for Votto, coming off of a 4-for-4 day yesterday. Close out that series against the Cardinals, including a home run, which proved to be the difference. Swing and miss, and Rich Hill has him off balance here early.
You could see a big smile from Votto after this swing. Breaking ball looks like it starts behind Votto, and it ends up about a foot off the plate. Big sweeping hook.
Two balls and a strike, the count to Joey Votto. I mentioned that average up to 300 down. Did we ever have any down to get back to 300?
No, I don't think Joey had any doubt that he would, and probably swinging the bat as good or better right now coming into this ball game as he has all year. But you mentioned Rich Hill earlier and the injury history that he's had. Most of his injury history in a Dodger uniform has been with his middle finger for that breaking ball from a blister issue.
Yeah, when you read chronic finger blisters, that, I mean, it sounds like, you know, a little blister on the finger sounds like a small injury. That is a major injury for a pitcher, particularly one that relies on the breaking ball. Here's a hard hit ball, but they have Votto shifted from right center field, or excuse me, yeah, short right field, I should say. They throw him out. So Amir Garrett goes to the hill. coming to bat. Here's how Dave Roberts will line them up. Brought to you by Menards. Chris Taylor in center field. He'll lead off. Shortstop Corey Seager batting second. Justin Turner just off the disabled list. And it's Gutierrez, Forsythe, Barnes, Ballinger, Kike Hernandez, and Rich Hill on the mound batting ninth. Your Mazda pitcher for the Reds, 6'6" lefty Amir Garrett, 25 years of age, and Cowboy over the last 3 starts he's been hit and hit hard.
Yeah, I think the big key for Garrett is just getting back into a comfortable rhythm, not trying to do too much. And I think when you get sent down, you try to do things in order to say, okay, this is why I belong, and you get outside of your comfort zone. You try to throw the ball too hard, try to make your slider too nasty. And I think for Garrett, it's just a matter of just getting back, being comfortable on the mound.
Last 3 starts, 21 earned runs in 11 2/3 innings pitched. Chris Taylor, Jock Peterson on the disabled list. In fact, he starts his rehab assignment at AAA tonight. Chris Taylor has played very, very well for this Dodger club. 305 average, 7 home runs, 24 runs driven in.
Especially taking over for Jock Peterson.
Yeah.
Peterson was an all-star last year in the home run derby. Hits the ball out of the ballpark with some semblance of regularity.
Last time out for Amir Garrett, 9 runs given up against the Braves, 8 were earned, and Brian Price thought he was trying too hard to get outs as he walks the leadoff batter and left several fastballs up in the zone. Obviously the key for any pitcher is to keep it down.
233 now, 3 walks now for the Dodgers on the year. They are second in the National League, second only to the Cubs, who had 234 coming into today. So the Dodgers will be patient. They will make you throw strikes. They will work the count.
And now shortstop Corey Seager in a tangle with Zach Cozart as he's first pitch swinging and sends one deep the other way. Left fielder Kivlehan makes the catch at the wall. So just a long out for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Thought he gave one up right there, did Amir.
If he had been at Great American Ballpark, he would have. But you're at Dodger Stadium. You can get away with a few mistakes here.
330 down the left field line here at Dodger Stadium. 360 in left center field. And then 395 out in center field. So you can get one a la Great American Ballpark, 330 down the line. But where Kivlehan was, it shoots out there and it's a deeper part of the park.
Yeah, the corners really bend in here down the lines. And that can make it difficult not only for an outfielder going to the corner, but a ball that ricochets down the line and starts to curve around that corner.
Justin Turner now, he's fresh off the disabled list. He had been on there since May 19th with a strained right hamstring, and we showed you his numbers. 379. Just 1 home run and 17 runs driven in, but 379, obviously an impressive batting average. Still sporting that beard and the long red mane. Looking good, as you would say. 2 balls and a strike. The count to Turner. Here's a long one hit to left field, and that one hit to a shorter part of the park, and it's gone. So welcome back from the disabled list, Justin Turner. His first at bat, a 2-run home run.
When Garrett has given up home runs, this is normally where the pitch has been located. Up, out over the plate. He got away with one to Seager on the same type of pitch, not to Justin Turner.
Exactly what we talked about and what Brian Price had said, that he just was leaving balls up in the zone. And early on in the season, as he now faces Franklin Gutierrez, man, he kept the ball down big time, particularly in his first 3 starts of the season.
See that pitch there, that's a good pitch. It's a fastball, it's middle away, got a little bit of run away from Gutierrez, but it's down around the kneecaps. That pitch up around the letters, unless you're throwing the ball mid-90s and above, that's a home run pitch.
Called strike, says home plate umpire Rob Drake. Crew chief Jerry Davis down at first, Pat Hoberg at second, Tony Randazzo, your umpire, at third. Gutierrez, a .225 batter. Swing and a miss, pulled the string on him. Out number 2.
Those last 2 pitches, change up for strike 2, slider for strike 3. That is going to be the key to Amir Garrett's success. He threw a change up prior to this pitch. You see the breaking ball start out and drop straight down. That will give you some leeway with your fastball, but you've got to make these Dodger hitters respect the fact that you can throw your breaking ball and change up over the plate with some semblance of regularity.
Now Logan Forsythe, the second baseman for the Dodgers, the former Tampa Bay Ray. One of the additions to this Dodger club this year. And so far has not really paid dividends. A 191 hitter is Logan Forsythe. He hit with Tampa Bay, but has yet to do it here.
It's a little different transition for an American League player going National League or vice versa. And the reason I say that is once you establish yourself, you get better because of your knowledge of the opposing pitchers. Yeah, there's some young guys that come up, but for the most part, you're making your money simply because you've seen the pitcher more than just a few times. You come to a new league, a new division. I would imagine the second half will be better for Logan Forsythe.
Check swing, appeal. No, says Jerry Davis. Forsythe acquired for Jose De Leon. Dodgers also added former Giant Sergio Romo to the mix this year, although they just put Sergio Romo on the disabled list today. I think the Dodgers made a few moves. Justin Turner, as we mentioned, back off the DL.
Red Eibner was sent down in that deal.
Yep.
Or that move, I should say.
Sergio Romo to the disabled list. They reinstated Luis Avilan. Here's a called third strike. So back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Garrett, but gives up 2. By Elkin out. The Reds have been very good leading off an inning. They have a .338 on base percentage. That's highest in the National League. And Rich Hill has not been so good. .481 opponent on base percentage, third highest in the National League. He got Billy Hamilton to lead off the first, so now the task goes to Eugenio Suarez in this category. Suarez, Schebler, and Kivlehan here in the second for the Reds. Suarez checks in at .283, 10 home runs, 36 runs driven in. Lefty versus righty matchup. Rich Hill, a very easy 1-2-3 first inning. Making his first start against the Reds since 2007 is Rich Hill. As we mentioned earlier, 13th major league season.
Well, the Reds did see Hill in spring training, and he was all over the place with his fastball. There you go.
Right on cue.
But the curveball was good in spring training. Curveball's been very good today, and up until that last pitch, his fastball has really been within the strike zone.
When you talk about those that have been around the Dodgers all season, and you ask about Rich Hill, one word that was prevalent, they all said erratic. And last season was a very good season for him. 20 combined starts last year with the A's and Dodgers, 12-5 record and 2.12 ERA. Held opponents to just 195 as far as average goes. A really good strikeout to walk ratio. This year, different story, at least so far.
I think when you look at Rich Hill, Jim, he's highly unpredictable. And I think that can work to your benefit as a pitcher. Yes, he's effectively wild because his fastball is in a lot of different places. But to be able to throw the curveball with that kind of bend that he throws at any time in the count, how do you think about that as a hitter?
Well, he walks the leadoff batter here, Suarez. And highest amongst National League starters is Rich Hill, 6.2 average per 9 innings for Mr. Hill, and that is tops in the National League. All right, here's Scott Schebler making his return to Dodger Stadium. And I bet he feels pretty good returning this time. First pitch swinging, though, over the head of the first baseman and foul.
And you may say to yourself at home, well, Scott Schebler's left-handed. He pulls the ball out of the ballpark against right-handers for home runs. This curveball from Hill is going to give him some fits. Well, if you look at the numbers for Schebler, especially against left-handed pitching, he hits left-handers better than he hits right-handers as far as the batting average is concerned.
And that is certainly part of the improvement of Schebler. 17 home runs, tied for the National League lead.
You watch the front shoulder of Scott Schebler against a left-handed pitcher, it never wavers. And a lot of left-handers, you'll see them buckle a little bit or give with that front shoulder. Schebler will pull it out against right-handed pitching, but not left-handers. He stays right in there, and he will shoot the ball the other way.
Swinging a hard hit ball, but right into the teeth of the ship. Throw to first and back safely.
They might challenge that.
And that did look close. Unfortunately, Suarez goes in feet first, standing, and that might have cost him.
Watch this ball come off the bat. This is like a rocket. Oh, better get back. That was awfully close. Surprised the Dodgers aren't challenging this one.
Well, Dave Roberts is still on the top step. He's looking at his video guy. You're only supposed to have 30 seconds.
And he's going to say play on.
Play on. All right, so Suarez gets away with it. A hard hit ball off the bat of Scott Schebler. They had him played perfectly. And now Patrick Kivlehan starting in left field tonight. If you're just joining us, Adam Duvall sick, under the weather. Brian Price said he started feeling badly a couple of days ago, and then on the flight out here to Los Angeles particularly got worse, and then today felt even worse than that. So Kivlehan gets the start in left, although Price says that Duvall, he hopes, is available in some capacity tonight. Counts no balls and 2 strikes to Kivlehan. Patrick with 4 home runs off the season, mostly off the bench. Boy, did he have a big pinch hit home run in that Cardinals series.
Opposite field 3-run Johnson.
That would be a 3-run Johnson.
That is what I said.
Yes, sir. Pitch. Fouled at the plate.
You look at that curveball from Hill. I know we've talked about this, but the high curveball is so difficult for any hitter to pull the trigger on. The ball looks like it's well out of the strike zone, and then it's got so much spin on the baseball that it drops right at the last second. And if it's up in the zone, if you get an umpire that's calling the high pitches, you're in trouble. We saw an earlier strike here to Kivlehan on that curveball, and on the last pitch, Kivlehan just said, well, I'm guarding the plate.
It was Wednesday night. It was part of that big 5-run 7th inning for the Reds. Kivlehan, that 3-run home run, and then Votto followed it up with a 2-run home run. The Reds rallied to beat the Cardinals. Here's a dribbler. Hill gets it, throws wide. And the Reds will have runners at first and second. So a swinging bunt, if you will.
Not sure that you could bunt the ball this well. Gets it far enough away from Austin Barnes. And by the time Rich Hill gets to the baseball, he's got to come sidewinder style. And fortunately for Hill, Bellinger was able to make the catch. Otherwise, that's in the right field corner.
So now Jose Peraza, runners on first and second, 1 out. Peraza also making his return to Dodger Stadium, at least playing against the Dodgers. He and Schebler came over in that December trade, December 2015.
Trace Thompson, Frankie Montas from the White Sox.
Truly an unbelievable deal for the Reds.
Todd Frazier going to the White Sox. Those 2 guys I mentioned came to the Dodgers.
One fouled back. I mean, you think about it, at the time when the Reds traded Todd Frazier, everyone was up in arms. He goes to the White Sox. It's a 3-team trade. White Sox get Todd Frazier. The Reds get Schebler and Peraza. The Dodgers get, as you mentioned, Trace Thompson, Micah Johnson, Frankie Montas from the White Sox. Johnson and Montas are no longer with the Dodgers, and Thompson is batting 188 in AAA. Frazier has struggled. Schebler tied for the National League lead in home runs. Jose Peraza, an everyday player. I would say that's a very good trade.
And at the time of the trade, there were many national writers out there criticizing the Reds because they didn't get Frankie Montas and Trace Thompson in the deal, as if to say, why didn't you do this deal straight up with the White Sox? Well, trades always work themselves out, and you get to see kind of where things work out in the long run, but you just have to give it time. Prospects, in my mind, are suspect until they make it here in the big leagues successfully.
Say what you will at the time, like you said, but at least right now, and who knows what's going to happen with Peraza down the road. Is Schebler going to keep up this pace? Who knows? But right now, that trade
looks pretty good for the Reds.
Is outstanding right now. Sure, it was hard to say goodbye to Todd Frazier,
especially after that home run derby at the All-Star game.
Yeah. Ground ball into the hole in left field. Hatcher's going to wave around the runner from third. Throw to the plate is cut off, and the Reds are on the board. Suarez scores. RBI single, Jose Peraza.
Catcher number 16, Tucker Barnhart.
Slow breaking ball. This one stays up about belt high over the plate. That high curve ball that I was talking about earlier. And Peraza stays back just long enough to hook it through the left side.
So now first and second still. One man in, one out. Tucker Barnhart at the play. By the way, that Patrick Kivlehan swinging bunt ruled an error. Pitch swinging and out of play is Tucker Barnhart.
That was ruled an error.
That was ruled. He's got an error on the board.
Well, no wonder the Dodgers are leading the National League in ERA with scoring like that at home.
That was a tough call. I mean, that was, as you say, if it was a bunt, you couldn't have laid it down any better. They would have had a tough time getting Kivlehan to boot, but Hill threw it wide.
Hill had to sprint in and throw with his balance going towards the Dodger dugout. That was a tough play.
That might be one of those that's an error right now. It could change later. Switch hitting Tucker Barnhart batting from the right hand side against the lefty Hill. The count's 2-1. Tucker's turned up the wick offensively. Last 18 appearances going back to May 8th. .304 hitter. 6 doubles during that time, a home run and 3 RBIs. And you know the type of defense he brings behind the plate. Swing, a hard hit ball right into the teeth of the shift again, and this is going to be a double play ball. The Reds get a run. 2-1 game here in LA. For the Reds, Kivlehan in left field tonight. Billy Hamilton leading the National League in outfield assists and center field. Shevler in right, Suarez, Cozart, Peraza, Votto around the infield. Tucker Barnhart hanging the signs for Amir Garrett. Garrett back to the hill after giving up a 2-run home run to Justin Turner in inning number 1. He did strike out the final 2 batters of the inning, so we'll see if Garrett can settle in here on the Dodger Stadium mound.
Game management from the starting pitcher. You often hear that in football for a quarterback. He's a good game manager. Well, that's all you have to be for a starting pitcher right now for the Reds. Just keep the Reds in the game.
He'll get Austin Barnes, Cody Ballinger, and Kike Hernandez. Barnes catching tonight for Yasmani Grandal, the former Red. Garrett's fallen behind 2-0. 269 batter, 2 home runs, 8 runs driven in. Barnes, a hard hit ball off of Garrett, and he is hurt.
Looked like it hit his left hand, his pitching hand.
He is sprawled out in front of the mound. That was a rocket off the bat of Austin Barnes. Head athletic trainer Steve Bauman immediately out. Brian Price immediately out. Pitching coach Mac Jenkins out. Sitting up, and like you said, it looks like he's looking at his left pitching hand or arm.
Well, when you're on the mound, the ball comes at you with that kind of velocity. You're just trying to get your hands up in front of your face. Watch this ball as it comes back to Garrett. It is a laser shot right at his head.
And there's instincts right there. Your instincts, whether it's a glove hand or bare hand, is to try to catch it. You've been on that mound. Is that just instinctual?
Yeah, I think part of that is even though when you slow it down, the ball looks like it's going to go off to the left of his head. But when you're throwing the ball and you're in motion, the ball feels like it's coming right between your eyes. And you put your hand up, not just to catch the ball, but to block your face. And it looked like it hit him flush in the left palm. And you just don't know exactly what that brings at the moment.
He also, when he went down to the ground, fell awkwardly. It looks like there's a couple of guys throwing right away. One is Michael Lorenzen in the Reds pen.
Well, he's moving his hand, so it does not appear that the hand is broken. But what happens when you get a high velocity hit in any of your extremities, they go numb and it's tingling. All of those nerve endings are firing all at once.
All right, he's going to have to show everyone he could stay in the game, or at least throw the baseball, obviously. One of those scary scenes you see in baseball, and I mean, who knows if the injury is in that hand right now, but boy, that could have been much worse.
I think the key for Garrett right now is just trying to get some sense of normalcy as far as the feeling in the fingertips. Even though the ball hits you in the palm of the hand, your fingers have a tendency to wrap around that ball as it hits you in the palm.
He's throwing a bunch of fastballs right now. Would it behoove him to throw a breaking ball or a changeup and make sure he could throw the full arsenal? You better believe that Brian Price and Steve Bauman are going to be extra careful here. Former Division I college basketball player. He's a competitor, but yep, they're going to bring him out of the game. So Amir Garrett, one batter into the top of the second, will come out of this game, and when he threw his last warm-up pitch, Cowboy, check out if we can read some lips. It just looked like he said, "I can't feel anything." It looked like he said, "I can't feel anything." So just what you said.
I don't feel anything. But that's now. In an hour from now, his hand will be sore, but all of that tingling and all of that numbness will go away. But that initial blow, especially in your wrist, elbow, hand, fingertips, you see pitchers reach up for the ball, it goes numb quick.
Looks like the Reds are going to call on Jake Buchanan. Our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. We're back after this. after a hip injury that sent him to the disabled list. Now leaves after this. Hit him right on the palm of his left pitching hand. You can see him pointing. The athletic trainer Steve Bauman.
You can see him also looking at the bottom of his hand, rubbing his finger along it. When your pinky and your ring finger, when they become numb, it's almost, your hand almost feels like it's trying to pronate too soon. It feels like you've got a weight connected to the bottom of your hand because of the numbness.
So now the Reds will turn to right-handed pitcher Jake Buchanan. He's been one of the long guys out of the pen, and boy, are they going to need him to eat some innings here.
Well, the last time he came out, Jimmy saved the bullpen. He did give up a couple of runs, but he threw the ball awfully well, and I'm sure Brian Price is hoping that he can get some semblance of length from Jake Buchanan here.
And ironically, it was the last time Amir Garrett started what you were talking about against Atlanta on the 4th, when Garrett only went 2 2/3 innings. Buchanan came in and pitched 5 1/3, gave up those 2 runs that you talked about. What could have been a disastrous day eating up your bullpen. He saved them on that day, even though the Reds lost that game 13-8. All right, here's the rookie Cody Ballinger, your reigning National League Rookie of the Month. He has certainly been one of the bright spots for this Dodger team. Leads the team in home runs with 12, tied for the most RBIs with 31. From the stretch is Buchanan, and here's a ball served into center field. Hamilton goes back and gets it. 1 out.
It's a little different read for Hamilton. He broke in as the ball came off the bat. It looked like it was going to be a low line drive. Bellinger has got some pop in that bat. The ball continued to carry, and it sent Hamilton scampering back quickly.
And that'll bring up Kike Hernandez. Puerto Rico native, 25 years of age is Kike Hernandez.
And this guy has played all over the place in a Dodger uniform.
Certainly has. In right field tonight for Dave Roberts.
I don't think I've ever seen him catch. I don't think I've ever seen him pitch, but it seems like he's been everywhere else.
Runner on first base, 1 out. Dodgers have a 2-1 lead here from Dodger Stadium. This Los Angeles Dodgers club comes in 11 games over 500. Your manager Dave Roberts, your reigning National League Manager of the Year. This Dodger club has won 4 consecutive National League Western Division titles. But man, is the West tough so far this year. Colorado has already defeated the Cubs tonight. They are 17 games over 500 at 40-23. Arizona comes in 37-25. And the Dodgers 11 games under. 11 games over, excuse me. So the Dodgers are now 3 games back of Colorado pending tonight's game. Arizona comes in 2.5 games back. Talk about the NL West. Usually you start with the San Francisco Giants, but it has not been that way this season. The Giants have struggled. Colorado is one of your surprise teams in all of Major League Baseball, along with Arizona.
In a good way. Giants surprisingly in a bad way.
Yeah. Yep. So you're talking about 3 teams off to terrific starts. A long way to go, but At this point, when you're 11 games over and you're 3 games out, good baseball being played in the West so far. Amir Garrett goes 1+ innings tonight. If we get any update from the Reds on his condition, he's still on the bench. I imagine precautionary. They would send him to get x-rays at some point, would they not?
I would say so. They probably just want to let him calm down a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Hernandez. First strikeout for Buchanan and 2 outs in the inning, and he'll get pitcher Rich Hill.
It's a pretty good pitch here by Jake Buchanan. The first breaking ball caught the outside corner, and it was pulled foul. That one started on the outside corner and then just took a left turn, and Hernandez tried to reach it a little too far out.
Only 6 times to the plate this season for Rich Hill. He's 0 for 6. Still seeking his first career home run. Does have 6 RBIs on his career. Called strike. First of 3 against the Dodgers. Night game tonight. Night game tomorrow night. Afternoon game on Sunday. Late night back in the Natty. Here's a grounder right back to Buchanan. Make the flip to Votto. And Jake Buchanan comes in for Amir Garrett. Gets the job done. 2-1 game through 2 here in LA. And see the Hit Kings bronze statue. It'll be unveiled, part of the Bud and Burgers viewing party presented by Budweiser. Plus, the first 30,000 fans through the gates will receive a replica Pete Rose statue thanks to PNC Bank. For tickets, visit reds.com/Pete. Boy, is that going to be a big weekend and a brief homestand. Reds will play 3 here in LA. Bus on down to San Diego, play 3 at Petco Park, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Off day on Thursday, and then 3 against the Dodgers in that Pete Rose weekend, and then right back on the road again. What is now going to be a 3-city road trip through Tampa Bay, the nation's capital, and that one-game makeup in St. Louis. So Jake Buchanan comes in to relieve Amir Garrett, and now will take an at-bat here to start the third. Reds down a run. Came up with his first major league hit earlier this season. And here it is, Sunday. Check him out. Pretty smooth swing right there.
Came off of Julio Teheran.
Brian Price had joked about that. He said, he asked Jake, he said, how are you in a bunting situation? He said, oh, I'm good, Skip, I'm good. He's like, what if I need you to swing away? Not so good, probably. But he got into a situation where he had to swing away, and little did he know what a good swing on it. It's like he knows what he's doing up there.
Got a bat, use it.
Well, you and I have said it before. Swing the bat, you're dangerous. 2-pitch. Hey, he draws a walk. All right, let's go back to the studio in Cincinnati for a game break with Brian Giesenslaw. Well, let's hope so. That's a big start, or a big comeback for him, and a good start to that comeback. As Billy Hamilton is in there for a second at bat of the game. So Haley goes 5 scoreless at Double-A. He had been pitching in Arizona, and this was his first time out in a full season club, if you will. He's pitching in the extended spring training games down in Goodyear, Arizona.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of difference between extended spring and Double-A as far as competition from a batter standpoint.
I think Homer's glad to get out of Arizona.
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Been there since February.
And the fact that he had a limited number of pitches. I'm sure he probably had 70 pitches to work with, and he's still able to get 5 innings under his belt. And to be able to do that, that tells you that his command was good within the strike zone, and he was getting some swings.
Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Billy Hamilton. Hamilton struck out to lead off the game back in the first.
Look, if I'm a veteran starting pitcher and I can pitch for that Reds offense, I'm trying to get back here as fast as I can.
There's one popped up. Out to get it is Corey Seager. One out. Well, Bronson Royal was commenting the other day. He's like, can you imagine this offense back when we had 5 starters who made every start of the season? Can you imagine this offense from 2010 to 2013? Might have been a whole different story. Been fun to watch. Say what you will about the starting pitching. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been up and down. There have been a lot of disappointing days and nights. But let's face it, in baseball, when a team scores a lot of runs, they're fun to watch. I know that pains you as a former pitcher.
Look, the Reds are fun to watch. I'm just telling you, these guys play hard, and they come back, as we saw against the Braves, even though the Reds were not able to hold some of those leads, or at least hold it so the Reds could catch up. It's fun to watch these guys play. They just don't seem to throw in the towel at any point in time, regardless of the score.
Cozart riding a 30-game on-base streak. 30 straight games he's been on base. And that's the longest on-base streak by a Red shortstop since Barry Larkin's 31-game on-base streak way back in 1991. And the longest of any player in the major league since Freddie Freeman 46 consecutive games last season. And boy, has Cozart been fun to watch. Here's a hard hit ball, just foul. Tonight's a matchup, and the series is a matchup of your top 2 vote getters at shortstop in the National League. Corey Seager continues to lead in All-Star voting, although Zach Cozart outdoes him in every statistical category.
Offensive category.
Every offensive category. But closing the gap. He's been closing the gap on Seager. Small market versus big market. So Cozart's had his hands full.
Small market versus monster.
Market. Yeah, you know, I should say that. Monster market. So it's an uphill battle as far as the fan votes go. I mean, when you're in a big market like this, obviously Los Angeles is so many more. The population's just huge in general, but they're just more baseball fans just because of the sheer population. But that's how well Cozart has played. Someone made a good catch.
I know a lot has been made about the way that Zach Cozart changed his setup routine as we watch him get into the batter's box here. He sets and he rests that bat right on the back shoulder as he waits for Hill to bring the ball to the plate instead of extending his hands up behind the helmet. Well, you say, well, that's the key right there. That's what did it for him. I think it's a myriad of things. I think you rest your hands, it tends to rest your mind. You tend to relax at the plate. It allows your athletic talent to take over, your hand-eye coordination to really zoom in. You still have to hit the ball with the bat, and you've got to center it up and don't swing at pitches out of the strike zone.
He's wearing Rich Hill out right now on foul balls. Just seems like he's seeing the ball so much better. He is more patient at the plate, swinging at pitches that only he wants.
Keeping his head still. He's very quiet, if you will, at the plate. Not a whole lot of extra body movement. He just sets that bat there, waiting on the pitcher, and then reacts.
See it right there, the highest of his career as far as pitches per at bat, and the 10th pitch of this at bat coming from Rich Hill. One out, runner on first base. 3-2. Zach told me it took the mental part of it out. He said every time he was struggling, when he was holding that bat up high, he kept thinking, all right, where are my hands? Or am I holding them too high? Am I holding them too low? How am I getting to the launch point? He said he just took that out of the equation completely. And here he draws a walk. That was a terrific at bat by Zach Cozart.
Number 19, Joey Votto.
I think anytime that you're having to fiddle with your hands or your feet or your body placement in the batter's box, your mechanics on the mound, if you have to think about those things, it takes away from your ability to concentrate on what you're doing, whether it's locating a fastball down and away from a Joey Votto, or for Zach Cozart trying to get to a 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside corner.
He said it was the #1 thing on his mind as Votto takes the first pitch. When he was struggling, it would be the thing on his mind. Where are my hands?
And that's negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And anything that's negative, you're trying to get rid of that when you step between the lines. You need as much positive momentum and positive reinforcement as you can get.
2-0 the count to Joey Votto. Votto with 48 RBIs now on the season. Tied for 5th in the National League.
I can't tell you how many times I would be in a ball game coming up and talking to myself on the mound. All right, you can do this. You're all right. You're all right. Let's go. You got it. And you try to convince yourself, let's go, man. Bases loaded, big boy.
Did you ever drop in a yes, sir?
No.
After an out, you didn't say yes, sir?
Now, Votto did not believe that was a strike.
Back-to-back called strikes. 2-2 the count.
Get a little bit of crossfire delivery from Rich Hill every once in a while, and that first pitch looked like it caught the front corner of the plate, but by the time Austin Barnes received the baseball, it appeared to be outside just from the naked eye.
1 out, runners on first and second. Votto fouls it off. 63 pitches for Rich Hill. We talked about him not going deep into games. And at 63 pitches, 1 out into the third. Not what you're looking for. Do the 2-2 again. Votto waits on it and fouls it out of play.
There's that crossfire delivery coming almost down sidearm, stepping towards the first base on deck circle, and drops down with a breaking ball. Didn't quite have the same bite of the over the top breaking ball, but the effect is the crossfire delivery. You can see that ball will start way behind Votto. It doesn't appear that it's going to get to the plate, but with 2 strikes, Votto not taking any chances.
Fouled out of play again. So a 12 pitch at bat and now to Cozart, and now a 7 pitch at bat so far to Votto. Choking up per usual with 2 strikes, choking up even more, I should say.
We talked about the blister issues with Rich Hill. A lot of those blister issues crop up because you have 20 and 25 pitch innings repetitively. That's when you're putting the maximum amount of pressure over and over and over and over in a short period of time on that finger.
There's a fly ball to left. Gutierrez makes the play. 2 outs. It's a big out for Rich Hill. The Reds are going to do any damage here in the third. It's up to Eugenio Suarez. Walked back in the second and scored on Jose Peraza's RBI single. The only run thus far for the Reds. Did you like pitching here?
It was all right. I pitched okay here.
The former Giant, so.
But I mean, when
you don't like this place,
when
do
you come up with the Giants, you hate the Dodgers. You can't help it.
It's bred into you, man.
And from the first year I got here, I mean, we had some knockdown dragouts with these guys. I mean, we were in the World Series in '89. They're in the World Series in '90. We're trying to knock them out. They're trying to knock us out. I can remember Darryl Strawberry saying in the newspaper, well, why are they trying so hard against us? Because you're the Dodgers.
3-1 with a 3.29 ERA was one Jeff Brantley in Dodger Stadium.
What was that?
3. he heard a good record and an under 4
I didn't
ERA.
hear what you said.
What was that again? Come again? 3-1 with a 3.29 ERA.
And a save.
Here's a slowly hit ball.
Or 2.
Seager will get the out at second. And the Reds are retired here in the third. Trailed by a run. Reds are back when the Dodgers come to town June 16th. Buy your 4 view level tickets and receive 4 special number 14 Reds hats in honor of the Pete Rose statue unveiling. Take advantage of the 4 for $48 ticket offer. Save for tickets. Call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com. Good deal for 48. Some Reds sprinkled in throughout Dodger Stadium here. First of 3, Chavez Ravine. Reds trying to get back to the 500 mark, riding a 4-game winning streak. And if you're just joining us, Amir Garrett left this game 1 batter into the 2nd inning. He took a line drive off the bat of Austin Barnes in the palm of his left pitching hand. And the Reds took him out, and Jake Buchanan relieved him and is still in the game. Buchanan with the top of the order for the Dodgers. Chris Taylor, and it's Seager and Justin Turner. We talked about Chris Taylor being very impressive for the Dodgers, with Jock Peterson on the disabled list. And he has played all over the place as well. Third base, second base, shortstop, center field so far in his major league career.
I think Taylor is a natural shortstop, but that position seems to be covered for the time being and at least into the future by one Corey Seager.
I think they're set at shortstop for the moment. Check this guy out. Innings 5+. First 4 innings, 172 hitter, but almost a 400 batting average. Innings 5 and on. Here's a ground ball into center field for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for the Dodgers here in the 3rd. And now the aforementioned Corey Seager.
Now Seager jumped on the first pitch he saw from Amir Garrett and almost hit it out of here, taking Patrick Kivlahan all the way to the wall just in front of the Dodger bullpen. See if he has a little more patience in his at bat against Jake Buchanan.
Just 23 years of age. In fact, he just turned 23 April 27th. 18th overall pick in the 2012 draft. And he was the National League's unanimous Rookie of the Year in his 3rd big league season after a breakout 2016 campaign. He's been some kind of player. Although just a 274 hitter so far this year. We mentioned Cozart outdoing him in most statistical categories. But in his young career, very young career, he's been a Reds killer. Came in with a .435 batting average against the Reds, 10 for 23, home run and 4 RBIs. He had a big home run on Wednesday. His first home run since May 20th. It tied the game. And what a duel that was. Clayton Kershaw against the Washington Nationals. The Dodgers avoided a sweep, winning that one 2-1 in a battle of Steven Strasburg and Clayton Kershaw. Quite the matchup.
Hey, you look at Corey Seager as he sets in the batter's box, and gives you an idea about what we're starting to see here in the game of baseball. We see it on a regular basis with a guy like Joey Votto and a young Eugenio Suarez. We're starting to see it with Adam Duvall and Scott Schebler, guys choking up on the bat before they get to a 2-strike count.
Throw over.
And that's not to say that Corey Seager is one of those guys that's just trying to make some contact and feather the ball the other day. That was the thinking back in the old days. You thought, well, we'll just choke up and just tap at the baseball. Guys are choking up now and hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
There's a ground ball to Kozar, to Peraza. Does not have a throw to first as Peraza late get into the bag just because of the defensive alignment. Would have been a tough cross-body throw, but they do get the lead out.
The ball was hit sharply enough for a double play, but you're right, Jim. Peraza got to the bag. I just don't think Peraza had a handle on the ball as he took it out of his glove. This is a double play opportunity for the Reds. You can see Peraza reach for the ball.
Yeah,
he just did not have a grip on the baseball, and rather than risk throwing it away, he just eats it.
Yep. Now Justin Turner, he's the difference in this game. His first at bat since coming off the disabled list, a 2-run home run off of Amir Garrett. We had talked about the additions to the Dodgers, and one of the big moves in the offseason also was re-signing Justin Turner, along with Kenley Jansen, one of the best closers in the game. And they re-signed Rich Hill for that matter.
Yeah, and Justin Turner is one of those players that when you talk about the term launch angle and increasing the tilt of your swing, if you will, he would be the poster child. The ball that's up in the strike zone, that's the ball that he's able to catch and lift into the air. This is not a guy that is looking to flip the ball into right field. I mean, he has got a serious launch angle. He's trying to lift the ball into the air and drive it out of the ballpark. You make a mistake up in the zone, you can kiss the baby.
I can completely see his swinging up, but do you buy into all this talk that the home runs are up because other hitters and many hitters are adjusting their swing and their swing play?
I think there's some truth to that. I think it's also about the hardness of the bats.
There's a fly ball to center field. The crowd thinks it's deeper than it is. Easy play for Hamilton. 2 outs.
But a ball like that that's into the air for an extended period of time or just for a second or two, it's going to be caught every time. A line drive or a hard ground ball, you got a chance to get it through the infield. But Justin Turner hits in the middle of this Dodgers lineup for a reason, and that's to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Now at 2 outs, it's Franklin Gutierrez, the left fielder for the Dodgers, struck out first time up. I sort of heard what you said. I don't know if you've noticed the PA system here at Dodger Stadium.
It's a little loud.
Throw down to first. Just a little loud.
Well, what I was saying is that I believe that the bats, they crank it over.
Right on cue.
I think the bats are much harder. I see bats when I was playing, there'd be a lot of dents in bats that guys would use over a period of time. Now, you go down in the dugout, you look at some of those bats, they look like bricks. I mean, they are hard as a rock. There's no dents in those bats, whether it's the laminate, whether it's better wood, whether it's the maple versus the ash. Go figure. People talk about the baseball all the time.
I was just going to say there's been a lot of talk this year about those baseballs being a little harder and wound a little tighter this year.
I'd look a little bit more towards the baseball bat itself.
Here's a ground ball, and it's hit through the shift into right field. Runner will hold at second base. Peraza was playing Gutierrez up the middle. Had he been in his normal defensive alignment, that's out number 3.
This ball is not hit well. It's hit almost off the end of the bat. But you're right. In a normal spot, Peraza makes that play easy. You shift for the 75%er. And if he hits it in the 25% spot, well, it's a single.
But as a pitcher, that's got to be tough to see because you induced a routine ground ball and there's no one there. But that's baseball.
It is baseball, but you also, if you're going to have your club shift, you have to pitch according to the shift. If you're going to shift your guys all to the pull side, then you got to pitch the guy in. You can't pitch the guy out over the plate. That's where that pitch was.
All right, let's see what Jake Buchanan has here. 2 outs and 2 on. Two balls and a strike. Out at a play.
Watch the bat head of Logan Forsythe as he starts to load as the pitch comes to the plate. Really taking the bat head over the top of the helmet back towards the pitcher. That creates a longer path to the baseball for the baseball bat. Does it give you a little extra power? Maybe on a lower pitch, but a pitch on his hands as that pitch was, not going to get to it.
Forsythe only 1 home run on the season, and that came May 29th. It took him that long to get his first home run as a Dodger. And in the recently completed series against Washington, he was 0 for 10. So the struggles have been big for the Dodgers second baseman, and they hoped he was going to be a big addition. And they acquired him from the Rays, way inside. Three-two pitch, and he walked him.
Just trying to be too careful with a guy hitting 191.
So now the base is loaded and 2 outs. Catcher Austin Barnes. Time up for Barnes. He blistered one back to the box and off the pitching hand of Amir Garrett. Then left the game. So early in this one, but a big situation here. A 1-run game. Stepping out is Barnes. And Barnhart go through the signs again. Jake Buchanan claimed off of waivers. Chicago Cubs. Came right to the big club for the Reds. Pressure situation here. It's behind 2-1.
Well, at some point in time during an inning, when you get yourself in trouble, as we're seeing now, you have to make up your mind as a pitcher. Okay, this is the guy I'm going to challenge. Well, this is a spot where he's got to challenge Austin Barnes with Bellinger on deck.
Here's a tapper charging his far. Nope, Buchanan gets it and throws it away. 2 runs are going to score. And that's just a tough one right there.
Not a good job by Jake Buchanan. Suarez had that baseball. When you have to go more than a couple of steps off the mound, if you're not coming towards the plate, you have to know what your infielders are doing.
Well, I called Suarez's name. I thought for sure he was fielding this ball, but Buchanan got right in front of him. I'm not sure Suarez makes the out, but I guarantee he probably doesn't throw it away.
Well, the key there is Suarez is coming to the baseball and towards first base. Buchanan is going towards the left field bullpen. Even if he catches the ball as he did, he has to throw off balance. It's a very low percentage play for Jake Buchanan and a much higher percentage for that man, Eugenio Suarez. And you can see a little bit of frustration in Suarez there.
Scored a base hit and an error on the pitcher, and credit 1 RBI to Austin Barnes with the bases loaded. Second run scores via the air. So they've now intentionally walked Cody Bellinger. Bases loaded again. Kike Hernandez. So you no longer have to go through the proverbial throwing 4 pitches out of the zone. Put the 4 fingers up and the intentional walk. Here's a mile-high drive towards left field, but out of play.
Well, in this day and time, you don't even have to put 4 fingers up. You put 1 up and point to first base.
Yeah. So Buchanan had 2 outs with only 1 runner on. Single, walk, single. There's a drive into right center field. Schebler's over to get it. 3rd out. Damage done. 2 more for the Dodgers. They lead 4-1 on the Reds. Players battle to be crowned America's champion in golf's can't-miss major of the year, the 117th U.S. Open at Erin Hills in Wisconsin begins Thursday on Fox, FS1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 4-1 Dodgers. Into the 4th inning we go. Schebler, Kivlehan, and Peraza against Rich Hill. Rich Hill enters the inning, 71 pitches thrown. He threw 36 in the first 2 innings. And then 35 in the 3rd inning alone. And you had talked about a taxing inning on a guy that deals with chronic blisters on his pitching hand. But if you get Hill out of the game, then you're getting a solid bullpen from the Dodgers. So which would you rather face? Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Well, the Reds had an opportunity to score in the third inning. They weren't able to cash it in with a couple of walks by the left-hander Hill. Dodgers cashed in their opportunity.
Ground ball, the only one on the left side in the shift. One out. That was Seager in that shift. To score that one 6-3. And now Patrick Kivlahan. One of his nicknames is Hunter Kivlahan because it kind of reminds him of Hunter Pence in that batter's box. How he crouches down, waving that lumber all over the place, real active in there. I mean, not quite as much. He's got a little bit in him. I mean, no one's as active in the box as Hunter Pence. I mean, that's when you need to mix in some decaf. But Kivlahan's got some action in there.
The only person I can remember being as active as Hunter Pence was the Reds first baseman Hal Morris. He would actually dance. His feet were moving as he would swing the bat.
He would move forward in the box, right? I remember that.
And still moving as he would hit.
Yeah. But boy, could he ever hit for average.
Could he hit.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Kivlahan. Third strikeout of the night for Hill. That'll bring up Jose Peraza. Peraza accounts for the only run in this game so far for the Reds, an RBI single, and his only time up. This one will fall out of play. Red's second baseman, Jose Peraza. You got to think he wants to turn it up here in the series against the Dodgers, his former organization. Takes one inside. 23 years of age. Hailing from Venezuela. And here he waits on one and sends it into center field for a two-out hit.
Number 16, Tucker Barnhart.
Curveball again. Peraza waits a long time. A lot of times he waits almost too long with the fastball, but he hits a breaking ball here. Same pitch he hit for the RBI single in his first at bat.
And now Barnhart swings at the first pitch, out of play.
As we've watched Rich Hill tonight, he's not a pitcher that is going to work down in the strike zone with his fastball. His curveball is his pitch that sets up his fastball rather than the fastball setting up the curveball. That curveball starts at a high plane up around the belt, maybe even higher. And as hitters face him for the second time, they're looking in that general area to guard against the curveball, and he'll start the fastball right at the belt, and it sneaks right by you.
37 years of age. Again, signed a 3-year deal. The Dodgers. There's a hard-hit ball into center field. Going to get it, though. On the warning track is Taylor. The Reds strand a runner.
Lead it over the Reds. And you know, Monday is the Major League Baseball draft. There are several players the Reds are looking at. One of them happens to be a high school player right here in California at Notre Dame High School. His name is Hunter Green. Now, this is a two-way player. Some people say he's a better pitcher. Some play he's better offensively. 6'3", 195 pounds, those right-handed. Senior season, his career numbers on 162 earning, 121 and a third innings pitched. This year as a senior, hit 324 with 6 home runs. Oh, by the way, he throws 102 miles per hour. How about that? For his career, a 337 hitter with 13 homers, 72 RBI. He's 414 on base and a 567 slugging percentage. And he spent a lot of time at the Compton Academy, which out here in Compton, California, is much like the Reds' Urban Youth Academy. Hunter Green, some people say he could be the #2 pick for the Cincinnati Reds. Guys?
Well, a lot of people picked to him as being the highest ceiling of anyone in the draft, and there have been some serious comparisons out there. I mean, this kid has already been on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a high school kid. Here he is, Hunter Green, and talking about, is he the star baseball needs? We're talking about a game which, with the RBI program reviving baseball in the inner cities, trying to get the numbers up of African Americans playing the game of baseball. Those numbers have been going down over the years. Hunter Green, African American player, and a very well-rounded. If you read this Sports Illustrated article, a really impressive young man, not just in sports but off the field as well. And they have made comparisons that he's like Noah Syndergaard on the mound and Alex Rodriguez in the field. Shortstop, pitcher. Obviously, he's a high school kid. It's going to take a little longer to get there. Most people think that he will be a pitcher at this level, at least initially.
Yeah, I think when you look at Hunter Green and you see the type of body that he has, and then you imagine, okay, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, filling out that high school body, that frame, and he's already an awfully big kid. That's the perfect pitcher's body, and the fact that he has an arm to go with it, and that body will protect that arm over a period of time.
On his way to second base is Chris Taylor, and he's in there easily with a 1-out double. The Reds pick second overall in Monday night's draft.
Buchanan fooled Taylor with the first changeup, and that changeup was in the dirt. This one, middle in, and Taylor waited on it. You saw what he did with it.
Minnesota Twins pick first Monday night. And obviously, the Reds will have to play off of that. Brendan McKay, pitcher from the University of Louisville, in the mix. Or first baseman, left-handed first baseman, also a left-handed
two-way player
pitcher,
as well.
two-way player, just like Hunter Green.
Kid Kyle Wright from Vanderbilt has been mentioned as a possible top pick by the Minnesota Twins.
He has really shot up the draft board. Got off to a slow start at Vanderbilt, but the second half of the season, man, came on like gangbusters. And with the Twins having the season that they are, and really on the cusp of making a big-time comeback in that organization, they came in with a game-and-a-half lead in the American League Central tonight. 4 games over 500. Many of the so-called experts have said they would prefer to go with a college player that is closer to the big leagues. But if Hunter Green is sitting there at number 2, tough to pass up. Part of that SI article, and he's from Southern California here, Hunter Green. San Diego picks third. He made no bones about it. He would prefer to be picked by the San Diego Padres.
I think his parents would like for him
Correct.
to be playing close to home.
He's a California kid.
But you have to remember, in baseball, you don't go to the big leagues on your first day out of high school. He's going to be playing somewhere else to begin with anyway.
I mean, there are some people that said he's a player of a generation, Hunter Green. But again, we're projecting a high school player as Buchanan walks Corey Seager, and now trouble of brewing with 1 out here in the 4th. No right-handed pitcher, high school pitcher, has ever been taken first overall in the draft. So there seems to be a little bit of a stigma with that as well, which would shy away a club from picking a high school right-handed pitcher.
Well, I think
first overall.
It's a little more a projection issue than it is just talent with a high school kid.
But make no mistake about it, this is a big pick for the Reds Monday night. You are not in that position very often. They picked second overall last year, Nick Senzel, doing well at high A ball. But you have to hit on these picks when you are up that high. There's just no way around it. That hit him. And now trouble really a brewing. Double walk hit batsman. Bases are loaded. That barely got him.
May have gotten the bottom edge of that pad on his left arm that you can see there.
Now Mac Jenkins will make a trip to the mound. And action in the Reds' pen. So it'll be exciting Monday night regardless. I mean, you talk about the second overall pick.
Second,
32nd,
32nd, and 38.
So they will get 3 of the top 38 players And the top half of the draft might not be a cinch as far as who's going to go 1, 2, 3, or 4. But they do say it's deep going into picks 32, 38, etc. So 3 of the top 38. They did well last year. As Franklin Gutierrez takes a first pitch strike. They also picked 77th and 107th. So
not too many high-end college hitters out there, but there is a bevy of high school talent.
Yeah. It'll be a fun night. Counts 1-1 to Franklin Gutierrez. He struck out, singled, and scored his last time up.
Blake Wood continues to throw in the Reds bullpen.
All right, this is a crucial situation here if the Reds are going to hang into this one early. Base hit into left field. 1 run will score. They're going to wave around the second runner to the plate. Throws not in time. And a 2 RBI hit by Franklin Gutierrez, and the Dodgers have busted this one open.
Sinking fastball. Instead of getting the ball in on the hands of Gutierrez, it stays middle in. And of course, after you hit Justin Turner, you're trying to be a little bit careful and start the ball a little wider on the plate so you don't run it in and hit the next batter and you leave it over the plate.
Here comes Brian Price out of the dugout. He's made the call down to the bullpen. And that'll be it for Jake Buchanan. Amir Garrett goes 1+. Buchanan relieves him and can't get out of the 4th. Blake Wood will come in for the Reds. Still 2 on and only 1 out here in the 4th.
Well, the Reds right now looking for a strikeout, double play ball, anything in the positive direction.
Blake Wood will tangle with Logan Forsythe. 0 for 1 so far.
Dodgers came into this game tonight having scored 2 runs or less in 7 of their last 8 games.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the open, that the offense has been struggling. But so far 6 on the board. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. We have not seen the same Blake Wood that at times we saw last year. This year, it has been a struggle. Called strike, 2-1. Two and two. It's playing Forsythe the pull. Votto way off the bag at first base. Jose Peraza towards the second base bag. Two-two pitch outside. Here comes the 3-2. Up the middle, that's where Peraza is. To Cozart, and a much-needed double play. But the Dodgers add 2. Lead 6-1. Was brought to you by Cincinnati Children's, changing the outcome together. And by your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. LAX, slightly busy airport. Reds flew into that bad boy yesterday after sweeping the Cardinals in 4. So they came out here with a bunch of momentum, but that momentum halted, at least for now. Trailing 6-1, and Blake Wood is going to take an at bat here. Rich Hill still on the mound for the Dodgers. He's given up only 2 hits. So here at Dodger Stadium, Cowboy, we talked about you earlier. 3-1 record, 3.29 ERA. Is it my understanding you got your first save and first hit in this ballpark?
That is correct. Now, let's qualify that save opportunity. We were up by about 10, and I pitched the last 3 innings.
Well, hey,
but
it goes down as a save.
But the first hit was in my first swing as a major league.
Come on.
It was a laser looping flare over the shortstop.
I was just going to say, years later, it's a laser, right? A laser looping flare. Hey, it's a hit, right?
Got it.
So you have good memories here, even though you were bred to dislike the Dodgers as a Giant at the time.
This was a great rivalry in my time with the Giants. The Dodgers with Lasorda here and Roger Craig, Dusty Baker, who used to be a Dodger when he was managing the Giants. We had some knockdown dragouts in this joint.
Counts 2 balls and a strike to Billy Hamilton. So Amir Garrett goes an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, gave up that 2-run home run, left the game after taking a hard hit ball off his pitching hand. This one popped up right side over near the Reds dugout, and leaning in and making a nice catch is Bellinger.
Find the rail, balance yourself, give yourself a little bit of extension. Watch Bellinger, the youngster here. Find the rail with your left hand. Now you can lean in. Reds are not going to help you. You got to do it on your own, big boy, and he does.
Nice play. 2 outs in the inning, and Zach Kozar. Jake Buchanan goes 2 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 3 walks, and a strikeout. So Sunday versus the Braves, he was a bullpen saver. Tonight, not so much. Rich Hill right on pace. What we've normally seen this season, allowing 2 earned runs or less in 5 of 6 starts, but he's yet to pitch over 5 innings in any of those starts. And he strikes out Kozar swinging. 2 punch outs in the inning. Dodgers are rolling here in LA. Rooftop. Let me try that again. By Optics District Rooftop at the ballpark this season. Only $15. You get a general admission seat, access to exclusive rooftop patio, plus your first drink on us. For tickets, visit reds.com/district. That is a cool area at the ballpark. I can attest to that. I've been up there. We'd love to see you at Great American Ballpark when the Reds return home next weekend to host these very Dodgers. Austin Barnes, Cody Bellinger, and Kike Hernandez for the Dodgers here in the 5th. Blake Wood still on the hill for the Reds. Dodgers got 2 in the 1st, 2-run home run Justin Turner. 2 in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. That's where we stand, 6-1. Reds only run. RBI single by Jose Peraza. Late night back in Reds country. Alongside the cowboy, Mr. California, Jeff Brantley.
Save it.
I'm Jim Day. Down goes Barnes. Come on, you're not a California guy?
Do I sound like a California guy?
Well, I think I had a first indication at dinner last night when the server came to our table.
His eyes about bugged out of his head.
And Cowboy was the first to speak, and the reaction on the server's face was basically, "You are not from here." I think he had to ask you, sir, what did you say?
That would be bone-in ribeye, young man.
Ribeye. Well, you're not a Hollywood guy, but we're going to find out coming up if the Reds players are Hollywood guys or South Beach guys. Which would they prefer? Quite the comparison. South Beach, Hollywood. You're probably not a South Beach guy either, right?
You got it.
The grounder to first. Votto will take it himself. By the way, Joey Votto, his 1,300th appearance at first base. 1,300 at first base for the Reds. And now Kike Hernandez. Chase Utley, the veteran in the on-deck circle for the Dodgers. As Kike Hernandez comes to the plate with a little vanilla ice. So Josh Hall is very excited about this, our producer.
Kenta Maeda throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Former starter for this Dodger club.
In fact, he was just moved to the bullpen to make way for lefty Alex Wood, who will go here tomorrow night in his return to the rotation. He'll face Asher Wojciechowski. Another 10:10 Eastern time start tomorrow night. And Alex Wood has been really good. Tim Adelman will get Hyun-Jin Ryu on Sunday. So 3 lefties going in this series for the Dodgers.
Well, to tell you how good Alex Wood has been, you start reading the local papers around here, and they're comparing his scoreless streak to the likes of Orel Hershiser.
Yep.
That's when you know you got things going pretty well.
Orel Hershiser in the house, I believe. There he is, one of the Dodger broadcasters. The Bulldog.
Got it.
Just an unbelievable run that Orel Hershiser went on. You talk about that scoreless streak.
You know, in a Dodger uniform, he was almost automatic.
Yep. Scott Schebler going towards the line, gets it. So a 1-2-3-5 for Blake Wood. Off to the 6th inning we go in LA.
Let's meet some of the prospects in
beaches in both spots, but I'm a West Coast guy, and I like Northern California better, so I'll go with Florida for this one.
Hollywood, yeah. I'm not a big-time Florida guy. Miami's cool and everything, but I'd much rather California. Weather's much better.
I'd go to Hollywood. I like movies. Those two places aren't for me.
If I want to go to the beach, I would rather go to the beach in Miami, just because they have waves and the water's warm.
Hollywood, for sure. I like movie stars. I'm a total star dork, so if I see a movie star or like a singer or somebody, I think it's like really cool.
Well, you'll see a few of those out here. That is for sure in California. I know Joey Votto coming to bat is a Hollywood guy as well. Loves it out here in L.A. I'm assuming Jim Day is Hollywood, but I don't know about the Cowboy. What do you think, Jim?
We've already established that would be a capital N-O. 3 exclamation points.
He'd rather be on a lake somewhere with a pole in it.
He'd rather be somewhere south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not talking South Beach either, which is south of the Mason-Dixon line. New pitcher on is Kenta Maeda for the Dodgers.
Making his first relief appearance this year. 10 starts, 52 in the third, and as you mentioned early, Jim, taken out of the rotation for Alex Wood, who's coming back tomorrow.
You got Kenta Maeda coming out of the pen. There's a check swing, backhanded play, and they still get Votto.
That's a nice play by Corey Seager there. Not only to get to the baseball, which was basically a ground ball to third while he was playing shortstop. This tells you a little bit about knowing who's running and knowing your opponent. Seager set his feet, knew he had enough time to be able to set his feet and make a strong throw to first. A lot of guys would have continued with their momentum towards the third baseline, trying to throw off balance. Possible bad throw. Not that kid.
He was the only one on that side of the infield on the shift to Votto. So 1 out in the inning, and now Eugenio Suarez. Kike Hernandez has moved from right field to left field, and now Yasiel Puig is into the game in right. Kenta Maeda on the hill. Puig into the game. Memo to Reds base runners, and we hope there are more coming. Don't run on Puig. I think we've proved that by now.
Got a pretty good arm out there.
Slightly.
But we have seen him make quite a few defensive miscues.
Check swing, appeal. No, says Jerry Davis. Brewers in Arizona, high-powered matchup there. And they lead 8-5 in the bottom of the 7th. They try to hold on to first place in the National League Central. Cubs have already lost today. So Milwaukee can stretch their lead to 2 if they hold on. In Phoenix. Swing and a miss. Update on Amir Garrett, who left this game in the 2nd inning, and it's good news. X-rays were negative on that left pitching hand. He does have a left hand contusion, so the situation could have been much, much worse. It was a line drive off the bat of Austin Barnes. Instinctually, he put up his bare pitching hand, caught him right in the palm of the hand. And if we were to read lips, he said on the mound as he threw some practice pitches afterwards that he couldn't feel anything, which is expected. But good news that the X-rays were negative. Here's that play. That was also concerned at the way that he went down. That right leg went awkward to the grass. We'll have a further update on him tomorrow when we get to talk to Amir. Counts 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scott Schebler. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back punch out for Maeda. All Dodgers so far.
Our unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. How about the St. Louis Cardinals? DFA Johnny Peralta today. 204 average, no homers, no RBI. They paid a lot of money for this guy, still owe him about $10 million. Dallas Keuchel placed on the 10-day DL with neck discomfort. Second time this season he's gone on the DL. Boy, he's 9-0 with a 167 earning in 11 starts. And how about Kevin Kiermaier trying to beat out an infield single, slides into first base, and he broke his hip. A hairline fracture at Tampa Bay. He's out at least 2 months. Man, that's a big blow to them. He's a very good defensive outfielder. Guys, back to you.
Yasiel Puig will take his first at bat of the game. He's facing Blake Wood, still on the hill for Cincinnati. Puig in the 9 spot. It's Puig, Taylor, and Seager here in the 6th versus Wood. That Cardinals situation, they went over on a road trip. Swept by the Cubs, swept in 4 in Cincinnati. And their brass basically saying we can't completely blow this thing up, but you got to start somewhere. And they started with Johnny Peralta, designating him for assignment. Also replaced their third base coach today. Which I'm not sure how he is one of the scapegoats, but things not going well in St. Louis as we speak. 26-32 record coming into tonight. Ground ball to short. Cardinals did win today 3-2 over the Phillies, so they snapped out of it at least for one day. But they're not used to that in St. Louis. Chris Taylor now the top of the order for the Dodgers. Pitch outside and high. D-backs have scored a run. 8-6 Brewers. Bottom of the 7th. Very tightly bunched National League Central. And some have called it a mediocre Central Division so far this year. Balance for sure. So look at the standings. And if you're the Reds and you've had up and down starting pitching and you're hoping to get Homer Bailey back by the end of the month, Brandon Finnegan, you hope to get him back by the end of the month. And even that out a little bit, got a shot to hang around.
I think the way this offense is swinging the bat now, you'd like to believe that it will continue, especially if you get some better starting pitching. It might be even better than that.
A fun club to watch regardless
of the
offense.
I think we've seen that the back end of the bullpen with Lorenzen, Iglesias, the emergence of Wandy Peralta, Drew Storm's throwing the ball well. I think it gives you some leeway. If your manager Brian Price, you know that your club is going to continue to score runs on a pretty regular basis. Now granted, there have been some ball games where they've scored only 1 or 2 runs, but for the most part they've been a high octane offense.
Down goes Taylor. 2 outs in the inning.
Slider starts almost in the same spot that the previous fastball did, down and away. You catch plate with the breaking ball, especially after you've had a low fastball for a strikeout there. Hitter's got a bite.
We'll talk about this Red starting pitching. They are 16-6 when they get a quality start. Now, granted, when you get a quality start, you're going to have more success more than not. But 6 innings, 3 runs is a quality start, or a so-called quality start. Still a 4-something ERA. But
I would take my chances with this Reds offense.
Yeah.
6 innings and 3 runs. Actually, I'd take my chances with 5 innings and 3 runs on the board.
Yep. The bullpen has been that good, and so has the offense. Coming off of one of the more enjoyable series to watch in a while. Last time the Reds swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series at home, you've got to go way back to 2003. Two balls and a strike to Corey Seager. Two-out walk to Seager. Tomorrow it's a great day for baseball on FS1 and Fox. It all starts with the Royals battling the Padres at 4 Eastern on FS1. Then on Fox, the White Sox take on the Indians at 7 on your local Fox station, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. And don't forget, Reds Live starts at 9:30 Cincinnati time tomorrow night. The Reds and Dodgers will square off in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Late nights on the tube in Reds country. Much easier to do on the weekend. Midweek late night games on the West Coast, tough. We'll have a couple of those coming up in San Diego. Been a good return from the disabled list for Justin Turner, just activated late this afternoon. With a 2-run home run, his first time up.
I think Turner only had one rehab outing. And right back to hitting at the big league level.
One game, got a hit. It's like, I'm good. Hamstring injury. Out since May 19th with a strained right hamstring. Had that rehab game at Single A. And that was on Monday. Played one rehab game and then
flew back, good to go.
Yeah. Here we are on Friday, though. Routine play for Hamilton. We are off to the 7th here at Dodger Stadium. Our AARP Getting to Know. Only player in Big East history to win the Triple Crown in his only season at Rutgers. In league games only, he had .410 with 10 home runs and 36 RBIs. And he put in 4 years on the football team as well. Only became a starter when the starting third baseman was injured the day before opening day. So he was a defensive player at Rutgers on the football field. Had barely played baseball, a late bloomer, if you will.
Yeah, didn't he just play with the 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
Baseball at Rutgers?
Yeah, 1 year.
The Triple Crown.
Yeah. Big East Player of the Year.
Practice? What practice?
Yeah. He was a late acquisition by the Reds last year. I mean, late. Picked him up off of waivers. And really earned his way onto the club in spring training. And an improved bench for the Reds. Didn't have a pinch hit home run last year. The entire bench. Gitland's got 4 home runs overall this season. Drafted by the Seattle Mariners in the 4th round of the 2012 draft was Gitland as he goes down. And that'll bring up Jose Peraza, 8th strikeout.
Well, Maeda struck out 3 in a row. It's almost as though he's saying, shouldn't have taken me out of the rotation. Sometimes that's something that you have to do as a veteran pitcher. Got a point to prove.
Well, how can you argue with what the Dodgers have done on the hill, whether it be starting pitching, relief pitching, continue to lead the majors with the 3.16 team ERA we showed you earlier. Opponents hitting just 226 off of their staff coming in. They led the National League in strikeouts coming in with 585. And the bullpen also leads the National League with a 2.62 ERA.
I think that also shows you the difference in payrolls between the Reds and the Dodgers. We talked about large market and small market, or massive market here in LA versus small market in Cincinnati.
You're not kidding.
They have the benefit of taking a guy like Maeda and shoving him in the bullpen. Might be the Reds' best starter.
All right, back to the studio in Cincinnati for a game break, and Brian Giesenslow.
Catcher Tucker Barnhart.
So a good night for Cleveland overall. Indians win, Cavs win to stay alive. So it will not be an undefeated postseason for the Golden State Warriors. That would have been unbelievable. Tucker Barnhart up there with 2 outs. Now you talked about that payroll of the Dodgers. I mean, 2 years ago, they were working to reduce the nearly $350 million spent on salary and luxury tax. $350 million. Are you kidding me?
Well, there was a talk that they were trying to reduce it this winter as well.
Yeah.
And then they signed 3 new guys.
They even took Bronson Arroyo's contract. He never pitched for the Dodgers. I mean, I don't know what the total was last year. I just have the total from 2 years ago. I mean, it's up in that ballpark. So we're talking about salary and paying the luxury tax when you go over the threshold. Mercy. Massive TV contract. So when you're a market like Cincinnati, you got to play against the big boys. You almost have more pride in your success that you have, because is it not easier to just go out and sign a check than it is to develop players?
I would agree. But as long as there's guys out in the free agent market, teams like the Yankees, the Dodgers, Red Sox, you go on and on, they'll be writing checks.
No doubt about it. But it makes seasons like the Royals had special. I mean, it can be done. Tampa Bay Rays have had success as an organization. Indians didn't have a monster payroll last year.
You look at what the Minnesota Twins are doing
Minnesota
right now.
Twins
And
right
the
now.
And the Milwaukee Brewers.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Barnhart. Maeda struck out 3 of the last 4. Dodgers struck in the first. 2-run home run off the bat of Justin Turner. Had scored a run in the second. But in the bottom half of the inning, it was Amir Garrett, first batter of the second. Takes a line drive off the bat of Austin Barnes off the pitching hand. He has a left-hand contusion. X-rays were negative, but he did leave the game. Franklin Gutierrez delivered a 2 RBI hit in the fourth. Dodgers scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And they lead 6-1 here at Dodger Stadium. Fourth pitcher of the game on the hill. For the Reds, it's righty Drew Storen.
Storen's been a good pickup for the Reds. It's really lengthened the Reds bullpen and allowed Brian Price to mix and match when the Reds have had the lead. A lot of times for Storen, he's been 6th, 7th, maybe in the 9th.
He likes himself some Hollywood because you heard him earlier in the broadcast. He says he's a star nerd. He says he's met all kinds of big league athletes, and he doesn't even bat an eye. But when he meets an actor somewhere like that, he's starstruck. A Hollywood nerd from Brownsburg, Indiana. What about you? Are you starstruck when you meet an actor, a big name actor? Really?
I don't think so.
I was looking for any type of response there. Here's a long drive to left field. Going back is Kivlahan, and he's got it.
Kenta Maeda put a charge into that one.
Not kidding. Brought the crowd to their feet. Now Logan Forsythe. This place would have erupted had Kenta Maeda sent one out of here. So Garrett goes an inning. Buchanan 2 1/3. Blake Wood 2 2/3. Scoreless. And Drew Storen. Dodger team has won the division 4 years in a row. But this is almost unbelievable to me. They haven't been to the World Series since 1988. I mean, when you think about the great players they've had and teams and the resources they have, particularly of late, for 1988 to be their last World Series appearance, isn't that a little surprising?
And they won.
They did indeed. We mentioned Oral Hershiser earlier. It was a base hit into right field. I don't know. Maybe shouldn't be so surprised. Tough game, obviously, but 24 of the other 29 teams have won a pennant in that time. It's remarkable. Now, in fairness, the Reds, 1990, so we're only talking about 2 years difference. But they came within a couple of wins of getting there last year. 91 and 71 season last year, 2 games from the World Series.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk that when the Dodgers let Zach Greinke walk, that they would miss him from a staff standpoint. Well, they're still leading the league in ERA.
Yeah.
It's as starters and as guys out of the bullpen and overall.
They have always been able to pitch. That has really been
This is a good ballpark. This is a good ballpark to pitch in. Now, granted, they've had some superstar pitchers like Clayton Kershaw and Oral Hershiser, but this is a good place to pitch. You keep the ball in the middle of the field. From left center field to right center field, the ball doesn't go out of there a whole lot. There's not too many home runs that go out of dead center in this joint.
0-2 pitch to Barnes, way outside. Another good crowd here, Dodger Stadium. They always pack them in here. There's a chopper. Charging is Suarez. Makes the out at first base with a long stretch from Votto. Second out of the inning. On to second goes Forsythe. See all the Reds action aboard the Cincinnati Bell Riverboat deck at Great American Ballpark. Located above the center field wall, you'll take in panoramic views of the Ohio River and the entire ballpark. Book your party or group outing today by visiting reds.com. Now, Cody Bellinger.
It's a funny thing about different hitters. When you watch Bellinger's stance, it's the antithesis of Joey Votto's. He's all the way down on the very end of the bat, and he stands straight up and down, hands well above the helmet. But yet that's what works for him.
We mentioned he was the reigning National League Rookie of the month of May. In 28 games in May, the average wasn't fantastic, 245, but he had 9 home runs and 27 RBIs during the month. Big cut.
I think that's part of what we're seeing come up through the Dodgers system. Jock Peterson is one of those guys that will walk or hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he's never going to hit for a high average. And you wonder if Bellinger is going to be in that same mold. Only time will tell, obviously.
It's like Craig Counsell up there a little bit. Bigger version. Well, at times, Craig Counsell used to hold the bat to the moon. Like Bobby Tolan back in the day. Remember Bobby Tolan?
Oh, yeah. I don't care if you stand on your head, as long as you get the barrel of the bat to the baseball when it enters the hitting zone. You have unique stances for all kinds of different hitters, as you do arm angles for guys that are on the mound. But that's what makes them unique, and that uniqueness is what makes them successful.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base. Check swing. Punch out. Storen strands a runner. Across to the 8th. Dodger Stadium. And had to pick out that coat and tie for Doug Flynn. Just a thought. Hope we got the coffee brewing back there in the natty. The glue up late. The glue. Doug Flynn. A little late for Dougie boy. We're glad to have him along as Arizmendi Alcantara. Pinch hit to lead off here in the 8th. Reds need some runs. Kenta Maeda on for his 3rd inning of work, and he has been good. In fact, he's retired all 6 batters he's faced and struck out 4 of them. This Reds team was hoping for better days here at Dodger Stadium. They've lost their last 6 games and lost the last 5 series here in Los Angeles, including being swept in a 3-game series last year. That was easy work of Alcantara. That's 10 of them now for Dodger pitching tonight. Hill had 5 of them. Now Maeda struck out 5. Now Billy Hamilton. Three-game sweep the Dodgers put on the Reds last year was the first time since 2009. Just been a tough road to hoe here. If they can't come back in this one, they'll be forced to win 2 straight tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon.
Maeda really throwing the ball well. He's had command of seemingly every pitch he's thrown. First pitch breaking ball, backdoor slider, fastball right on the inside corner there to Hamilton.
Ball to first. Gotta hurry. Hamilton getting down the line, but 3 unassisted put out, 2 outs in the inning.
Now this would be the ultimate highlight reel if Hamilton actually beat this out. Ground ball to first, and that's a close play.
He's one of the few guys that can make a play like that close. But it's been an 0 for 4 night for Billy. Really been a tough night all around. The Reds only have 2 hits. And they haven't had a hit since Peraza back in the 4th. In fact, Peraza has both of their hits. Everyone else in the lineup over. Peraza an RBI single in the 2nd, single but was stranded in the 4th. Dodger pitching staff, namely Rich Hill and Kenta Maeda, have taken the wind out of the sails of this Reds offense. Cozart's 30-game on base streak was extended in the 3rd, though. He did walk. So 31 of them now, tying Barry Larkin, who did reach base 31 straight times. Last shortstop to do so. That was 1991. Zach thought he drew another walk. Rob Drake had other plans. Maeda in the windup deals. Cozart fouls it back. Popped up. room, though, is Barnes. Cozart stays alive.
I think the Dodgers are really showing their pitching depth here tonight. You get the 5 innings out of Rich Hill. You got a 6-1 lead. And you go to Kenta Maeda. He struck out 4 of the first 6 he faced. And he's not even a regular bullpen guy.
Showed a shot of Rick Honeycutt. Just sitting back and enjoying this one. Mile high in the air. Forsythe has it. 1-2-3-8 for Maeda.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
And now it's time for our cricket something to smile about. And boy, they were smiling on this date in 2008. Ken Griffey Jr., career home run number 600. At that time became the 6th player to reach 600. First inning off of Mark Hendrickson down in Miami. He hit 500 in a Reds uniform. That one on Father's Day. Son Trey there to give him a hug. Younger Joey Votto in the dugout. And then he hit 600 after 500 in Reds uniform. So 2 milestones in his days with the Reds. And oh, what would have been had that body held up. As new pitcher on for the Reds, it's lefty Tony Cingrani.
This is only Cingrani's 2nd appearance since coming off the disabled list with an oblique issue.
And here's a shot into center field. Going back to the wall is Hamilton gone. Kike Hernandez. Solo home run, and the Dodgers lead 7-1. Number 5 for Hernandez.
Dead fastball hitter. And he hits this one right on the screws.
Now Yasiel Puig. So that gives the crowd a buzz. Crowd of 44,036 here on a Friday night. And they've got Friday night fireworks coming up too. ball to short, which I know you're happy about.
Ground ball to short?
No, the fireworks Friday night.
I love fireworks. Now, I will say this. There are no fireworks that I have seen that would match the fireworks that are in Cincinnati postgame.
It's not even close.
Now, a lot of teams have postgame fireworks. They're over in about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Not in Cincinnati. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cincinnati broadcaster. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, believe me, I've said that 1,000 times on the air. And people think I'm just shilling for the organization. But trust me, I've seen them all. And they're not, it's not even close. But you know, I was really tickled to death that you let the Dodgers borrow your iPod for batting practice music today.
Yeah. I didn't.
That wasn't your iPod?
I didn't hear one song in BP that I would listen to for longer than 3 seconds.
Cozart's got to charge this one. Off balance throw and just got Chris Taylor.
And the only reason I would be listening for 3 seconds is I don't know how to figure out that iPod fast enough to turn that stuff off.
I will admit it was a tough listen, and I'm a music guy. I'm very eclectic with music, anything from Mozart to Metallica. Look, I'm in, but that was tough today.
I like every kind of music except what they were playing during batting practice.
Yeah, it was tough.
I've always come up thinking that music is about singing, not talking.
Well, if you were to lend some music to batting practice, what would we hear? What would it be?
Well, I would start with Toby Keith, probably a little Eric Church.
Yes, sir.
That's where I would begin.
All right, I'm going to have to remember that.
David Allen Coe, little Chris Stapleton.
Oh, listen, I got some Chris Stapleton on my, I guess I won't call it an iPad.
When the stars come out.
Yeah. I got his new stuff and older stuff. Got some Toby Keith on there. It's in my wheelhouse. Last chance for the Reds coming up. Your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at Reds.com/vote and catch all of the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th live on Fox. And Zach Cozart trying to catch Corey Seager amongst voting. Two top vote getters and shortstop going head-to-head, and it has been 2 pitchers tonight for the Dodgers. And Kenta Maeda strolls to the hill for his 4th inning of work, and he can't do much better than that.
Well, you and I talked about this earlier, how I got my first save was here at Dodger Stadium pitching 3 innings with a big league, and Maeda would qualify here as long as he finishes the ball game.
We'll get Votto, Suarez, and Schebler. Adam Duvall tonight, under the weather.
I would say that Maeda has pitched better than either starter for that matter.
Oh, no question. And as you said, you're going to move me to the bullpen? All right. I'll show you what I got. As they just moved him to the bullpen to make way for tomorrow's starter, Alex Wood. They just delivered Dodger dogs. This is the most excited I've seen Cowboy all night.
I'm jacked.
You are pumped. Not 1, but 2.
Well, I got you one.
Oh, no, you're going to crush both of them.
No, I got you one. Actually, I didn't get it. JR got it.
Here's a long drive to left field.
Got a chance.
Is it enough? It is. Proof positive Joey Votto never takes an at-bat off. Down 7-1 and still battling. That is number 17 on the year for Joey as he ties the National League lead with Scott Schebler. 3 straight games with a home run for Joey Votto. First time since 2011. Man, can this guy hit. So the first dent into Kenta Maeda's night.
Breaking ball. Actually did not look like that bad of a pitch. You could see Votto with his patented choke up, bent down in the stance, and he hit it right on the screws. You know, you made the mention of never giving up an at bat.
Never.
And I think that's what great hitters do. You have to force yourself to continue to stay in the ball game mentally and take every bat, every pitch as though the game is on the line. And that's where great hitters are made.
Coming in, it was Schebler with 17, Ryan Zimmerman with 17. Now Joey Votto with 17. Quick check of the Nationals box scores. They lost 5-2 to Texas. Suarez goes down swinging. Zimmerman 2 for 4 today, but he did not have a home run.
Right fielder number 43, Scott Schebler.
So 3 guys tied to top the National League with 17 home runs, and 2 of them are Reds. And to be honest with you, I should probably check some other box scores because Bohr, Thames, and Reynolds also had 16 home runs coming into tonight. But mighty impressive that the Reds have 2 guys with 17 long ones. And the aforementioned Scott Schebler. 2-0 count. Top of the 9th now in Phoenix. Brewers leading 8-6 still. $16 or more home runs in the first 60 games for the Reds. Dunn and Griffey, Davis and Parker. Perez, and Bench. Now that is quite the list.
Pretty good company.
Say so. Broken bat. Flare. Caught. And the Reds are down to the last out.
Outfield number 3, Patrick Kivlahan.
Patrick Kivlahan reached on an error and has struck out twice. Dodgers looking for their second straight win overall, the 2017 season, and their 7th straight victory over the Reds here at Dodger Stadium. Check swing and a called strike. And the Reds are down to their last strike. Crowd of 44,000 plus to their feet. Base hit right field. So the Reds stay alive at least for one more at bat.
Nobody wants to make the last out, regardless of the score.
And now Jose Peraza. 2 for 3 tonight. Kenta Maeda trying to complete his 4th inning of work. There goes Kivlahan. Swing. Looper into right field. That will fall. Kivlahan on to third base. 3rd hit of the night for Jose Peraza. Two out and 2 on. Tucker Barnhart. Maeda retired the first 9 batters he saw. And in his 4th inning of work, gives up a solo home run to Votto. And now with 2 outs, back-to-back singles to Kivlahan and Peraza.
Well, Dave Roberts has gotten Kenley Jansen, his closer, standing on the bullpen now. He is yet to throw a pitch. If you're Dave Roberts, you have to guard against, just in case Barnhart runs into one here.
Goes Peraza. This one popped up left side. Left fielder gloves it, and that's the ball game. Dodgers take game 1 of this 3-game set 7-2. Justin Turner's return from the disabled list, a successful one. And we'll be back with more after this.